Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Pleeko here. So I am going to do a little video here really quick. I'm not going to take a lot of time on it. It's going to be relatively quick and easy. Essentially what this game is, or what this video is going to be about, is essential settings that you should have as an AD carry, what you should have them set as, and basically what you should be looking for in the settings menu in order for you to give yourself the best chance to do well inside of a game. So let's hop right into it. All right, so first thing that we are going to be looking at here is we are going to be looking at the auto attack feature. So what this is when you open up your settings option, you can go down to game and you can see this auto attack feature here. Now, the reason we don't want this on is because when we have it turned on, we will have like a dummy here. If I walk in range, it's going to automatically just start hitting it. We don't want that. Reason being, if you, let's say we have like a minion wave down here, right? Let's say we have a minion wave, which I can actually spawn the minions and fast forward 30 seconds to actually show you. So if we have a minion wave down here, oops, don't want that one. We want to clear dummies. So let's say we have a minion wave down here, right? And we walk in lane, we just stand still, and we just start hitting. Like it's hitting whatever's closest to you. Dude, we don't want that, because we're going to start having issues, right? It's just gonna start hitting something. We want to have that turned off so that way we can be more precise on what it is we want to click. So we stand still and then we can hit something. And so the reason being is it's pretty much gonna hit the closest thing to you. So you don't want to hit the thing that's closest to you. Reason being, there's times in the game where if that auto attack feature goes off, there's a chance that it can screw up you getting a kill or getting minions, or it might screw up the minion wave. So you want to have more control over what it is you're doing, especially as an AD carry. So you want to have that shut off, so that way you're able to have more control over what it is you're hitting. Second thing we want to look at here will be attack move. So if we put this dummy right here, right, and we put another dummy, let's say here. So by default, if we have attack move on, attack move is going to be this feature here where you hit like a click and it brings up this indicator, and then that's your actual attack range. So you'll be able to see how big your actual range is to hit somebody. But it also makes it so that way you can click nearby and you don't have to have perfect mouse accuracy, because you can hit somebody without actually having to click directly on top of them. Same thing works with turrets, same thing works with minions, so you don't have to have perfect mouse accuracy. So this is very good for kiting, because you don't have to click on the champion the entire time. You don't have to click, right click, right click away, click, and then just keep doing that. You can just click and move, and then you can do that if you want. It just helps you not misclick as much. Now, a lot of people will have this shut off. This is very important, this attack move on cursor. You want this turned on. Reason being, if you have it shut off like this, and you try to hit this guy back here, if you're clicking near him, it's going to hit the guy closest to you. Now, if you click directly on top of him, it's going to hit him, but if you're clicking near, it's going to hit the closest guy to your champion. So you want to have attack move on cursor, so that way you can hit the guy in the back. And then if you want to hit the guy in the front, then either just click on the front or put your cursor near the guy on the front. Reason being, like, act like this guy is a low health target on the back and this guy's full health, and you want to end up killing this guy. You want to finish him off. You're not going to be able to do that if you're clicking and it's targeting this guy, obviously. So you want to have this on, so that way, again, you have more control over what you're hitting. So everything you want to do everything you possibly can to make the game easier for yourself. Next, we're going to look at target champion only. Oh, actually, one other thing I forgot. So the attack range. A lot of people don't know how to get this circle here that shows your actual attack range. Some people, it just shows, well, nothing. Oh, because yeah, there's this part too. So bind auto attack to left click. Some people will have it set to left click, so they click and that does the attack move for them. I personally don't use this. I use the a click. Reason being, I just prefer to have it like this. I prefer to see my attack range. I prefer to be able to see like what exactly my attack range is. Reason being, there's a lot of things that can change your attack range. Like For instance, lethal tempo can change it. Granted, it does give you an indicator, but this is it's more easily visible. Same with rapid fire cannon. Jinx, her attack range changes throughout the game with her Q. Tristana's changes with her levels. Senna's changes with her souls. So there's multiple champions in the game, and there's multiple scenarios where your attack range can change. And then obviously it changes between champions as well. So I like to use this because I can see the attack range, and it's easier for spacing. So like if you were to have a champion who has, so like for example, Xayah has 525 range. So if you're against like a Lucian who has 500 range and you're just in an auto attack battle, then Lucian's not going to be able to hit you from here because he's going to have to be 25 units closer, which puts him about here. So at this point you can space it a lot easier because you can see kind of what your range is. Or like if you're this close, you can see, oh, I'm too close, I need to back up from this guy. Also, a lot of people will say that you're a bad player if you're using this, which is not true. They think that like the left click is the only thing. I have nothing against left click, but my defense will be Gumayushi, Teddy, and I believe Viper, and a lot of pro AD carries use A click over left click because they can actually see the indicator. It helps with a lot of scenarios. So I prefer using this. You can do whatever you want, but I would just say this one seems to be the more widely accepted setting when it comes to pro players and high elo players. Next thing we're going to be looking at is target champion only. Now I have mine set to T. This is inside of hotkeys, and you'll be looking at abilities and summoner spells. You'll scroll to the bottom and you'll see target champions only. I believe it's automatically set to tilde, or I think it's tilde, yeah, which is it's under the escape key next to the 1 key. I think that's what it's like automatically set as. I set mine to T because it's easy for me to hit. It's right next to my R. So what this does is this makes it so that way you can't click on a turret. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna turn off tower fire, and I'm gonna go over here. So what you do, right, is if I were to try and click on this guy right now, I would be clicking this tower, right? So I would be clicking this tower. I wouldn't be able to click the guy behind because I'm going to be hitting the tower. But if I click T, then all of a sudden I'm clicking the guy. So see, if I'm not clicking it, I'm hitting the tower. If I do have it on, I'm hitting the guy behind it. So this is really good for dives. So like say your jungler's coming down, you're going to be diving this guy, right? Same thing over here. Then you hit T. Now all of a sudden you can't auto attack the turrets, you can't auto attack the minions, you can't auto attack wards. You can only auto attack the champions. Now, as a disclaimer, this only works with right clicks. So if you were to A click and attack move, you're going to be able to hit the towers still. So A click overrides the target champion only. So this only works on right clicks. So if you are diving, you're going to be wanting to use your right clicks and be accurate with that.
It's a pain.
But I do recommend to have it on for those reasons. And something that makes this really easy is go ahead and close that out, go back to game and scroll to the bottom and select treat target champion only as a toggle, because by default you're going to have to hold your toggle button, or you're going to have to hold your target champions only button the entire time. I have it set to a toggle, so that way I don't have to worry about that. So I just click it once, I do my thing, and then when I'm done I just click off of it and I call it good, and that's it. Next thing I want to talk about is the S key. So we're going to get some minions spawning in for this one. Now, the reason why I like having the S key, there is a couple reasons. So one, the S key allows you to stop your champion in its tracks. Doesn't matter what you're doing. So you can be like farming, and then you can just hit S and you just stop moving. You stop everything. So you can be running, you can be in the middle of an auto attack and you can stop. So like if you realize like, oh, I'm hitting this minion too early, you can just hit S and stop the auto attack, and then you're not auto attacking it anymore. So that's one aspect of it. You can, if you click on it, you're like, oh crap, that's too early, then you just hit S and it stops. Another reason is because like I see a lot of people who farm and they'll be walking like this. And so they'll just be walking and then they'll see a minion and then they'll click on it as they're walking, kind of thing. And so they'll be walking, click on it, and they might get hit by get hit by a spell or something because they're walking while they're watching this minion get low. So what you can do instead is you can hit him, you can be kiting around, you can be walking around, and then you can hit S and then auto attack. and then you can be walking, S auto attack kind of thing. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to get the CS right now, so don't flame me. But I recommend using S and getting used to it, because it helps you a lot in terms of like actually like player control, champion control, because when you're hitting the minions, you want to be able to obviously not get hit by the enemy champions when you're just walking through, right? So I recommend having that on as well, which that is by default. It's under player movement and it's player stop position. I'm pretty sure that's default S. People can set it to whatever they want. I know Nice likes to have it set to one of the mouse buttons on the side, so if you want to give that a shot, you can. But I use S myself. It's just really easy for me to hit it. I've gotten used to it over time, so it's up to you guys on what you want to do, but I would recommend implementing it into your gameplay a little bit. Next and final thing, we're going to be talking about leveling up spells automatically. So something that I see a lot of people do is when their spells get leveled, or they're ready for their spells to get leveled up, they come down and they click on these arrows. So we don't want to do that. Reason being, that takes up time for one, but also B, if we have dummies, let's just say we have, let's say we're fighting some people, right? And we're fighting. We're like in the middle of fighting them and like, oh, I'm about to use my E and I just leveled up. You can rank up your E and then just use your E, instead of like you would have had to be fighting them, and then you would have had to come down here, click on your E, and then use it. So it's a lot faster just to be able to just click something and level it up instead. So me personally, you have it under abilities and summoner spells, and you scroll down towards the bottom and you'll see level up spell 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 is Q, 2 is W, 3 is E, 4 is R. So I have it set to Alt Q, W, E, R. So I would just hit Alt R and that levels it up. Alt R, Alt W, Alt Q, Alt W, Alt Q, Alt Q, and that levels it up for me. So I would recommend just having that turned on something, so that way you're able to just set that up yourself and get used to it. But yeah, I don't want anybody clicking down here, because it makes the game a lot more difficult for you than it needs to be, or not as streamlined, I guess I should say. But yeah, that is essentially everything that I had to talk to you guys about. But yeah, I'm hoping to do more videos like this in the future. If you have any ideas, anything you want to know, drop a comment, let me know. But yeah, this has been Pleeko, and I'm out. Peace.